Hello there. All right. Got right in your face, right out of the box. Welcome to Good Health by Claudia. And wait a minute. Yeah. Good Health by Claudia. All right. I'm having trouble focusing. What can I take right now that you have? Anyway, Good Health by Claudia podcast with me, Denny Schaffer, a production of Denny Radio. There you go. I've only said this, 90 times. It's episode 90 right now. 90.
Nice.
10 away.
Yeah.
So that'll be
Moving
4,
along.
8. So yeah, it's going to be March. It's going to be March, people. So stay tuned to this podcast and Claudia's Facebook page, because we got to do something for 100.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a big darn deal.
Yep.
All right. How are you today?
I'm doing all right.
You're good?
Thank you. I'm good.
All right. Where's the holiday stress level since we're in the middle of December? Where are you?
I'm making the house very twinkly.
Twinkly? That means lots of...
And just filling it with joy.
That's all you can do.
That's what that's what we do, right?
I spend time around the people I want to spend time with. And I think that's important, not the people you have to spend time with.
Right, exactly.
So anyway, for what that's worth for anybody who's watching right now. By the way, if you want to share this while you're watching, that'd be okay with us. We like that. Keep more people. This podcast is growing, and we are very thankful. It is.
It's so exciting. We're so grateful. Thank you, everyone.
Now, after today's episode, I don't know, because this one's going to be kind of gross. Okay. Today, we're talking about parasites.
Parasites.
Dun, dun, dun.
Parasites.
All right, here they are. The Enemy Within.
The Enemy Within.
Boom. Written by Hanna Kroger.
Yep.
Or Krieger, whatever her name is.
Kroger.
Is it Kroger? Just
Hanna
like
Kroger.
the store?
Yeah. Hanna Kroger.
Okay, there you go.
And I want to first, pay respect to Hanna Kroger. I was very, very blessed as a young woman to know her and learn from her. She was an amazing woman. And she was the quick story of her life. She was born in 1917 in Turkey.
Oh, wow.
And she was born to German missionaries. And her and her husband came to the United States in the 50s. And she told me that her mother she was into herbs.
Okay.
And so they came to this country in the 50s. And by, I think, the 70s, they had purchased a company. Well, I don't know when they purchased the company, but it was a coffee and tea company.
Okay.
And then they started bringing in herbs. She really created it was a health food store, which is still, it's still there. And they lived in Boulder, her and her husband and children lived in Boulder, Colorado. And, she made a huge impact, not only in Colorado, but around the country, because here was this, she was very mighty, little but mighty. She was short. She had a very strong German accent, and she was an amazing woman, heart of gold, way ahead of her time. And she was working with educating people about parasites way back. So I was very blessed to learn from her, because Joe and Pat Bassett and some friends of theirs, Ann and Webb, I forget their last names. They were wonderful people. They owned a food company here in Toledo.
Okay.
They would bring Hanna to Toledo many years. In fact, I was thinking this morning I should call the company and ask them, how many years did Hanna actually come to Toledo, Ohio to do 3-day conferences? And when she was here, no matter where they had the classes, it was packed. It was wall to wall. I mean, this woman was very loved, very respected. And as I said, years ahead of her time. She was indicted in the 70s because they said she was practicing medicine without a license. And she said she's doing God's work, which I respect, because truly it is God's work.
Oh, yeah.
When we're reminding people how beautiful and important and magnificent God's pharmacy is, that's a very important thing. And anyway, so she was into frequency healing. She was into homeopathy. She was homeopath. She was actually trained as a nurse. I don't know if it was a German hospital. I don't know where she was trained, but she was an RN. And anyway, she brought all this beautiful knowledge with her. And I was very grateful to learn from her. So she was very big into parasites, thus the book. This book came out in 1991. And so she did more than anyone that I know of to really bring the attention of parasites and how they're very devastating for human health because, as the word suggests, they're parasitic on us. And they suck the life force out of everybody. They cause cellular damage and they're causing intestinal problems. And we know that different parasites can get into the spinal fluid, get into the brain, they get into the organs. So they're very aggressive, just like last episode we talked about fungal issues. These are very aggressive species, if you will, that like to settle in our body and live off of what all the junk everybody's eating. But it's very interesting that a lot of why people crave sugar is what's in their body forcing them to eat the sugar. So the parasites and the fungus are actually sending signals to the brain, eat junk, I need to survive. And I guess I didn't say that in the last podcast on fungus. It's very aggressive, just like parasites. They don't go away easily. They're not going to leave until we force them to leave. So I've witnessed thousands of people on parasitic cleanses.
Okay. Every human being has parasites in their body.
I think it's fair to say, I think it's fair to say that, but especially in this culture, I think you'd be hard to find somebody that doesn't have them because of all the sugar and the junk.
How do you know you have parasites?
Well, a lot of people had pinworms as children.
Okay.
A lot of people, we've had people that they were actually dumping pieces of tapeworm and saw it in their stool, but didn't know what it was. So, there's all, and Hanna goes into all the different parasites. There's pictures of all the different ones and where they get part of the body, what they do. So this is a great book. We've sold this book for years. It's on our bookshelf. And we encourage people to check it out. And
so where are they living in your body? In your intestines?
The intestinal tract.
Okay, I figured the intestinal tract.
The organs. They can get
and that can be bad.
Yeah. Like we know that there are liver flukes, there's pancreatic flukes, there's all these. So there's all these different worms and they're getting into different areas. Most of them are in the intestinal tract.
All right. Which one's the most devastating?
Well, they're all, but I mean, if you want to show the picture of a hookworm. So, nowadays everybody has a camera in their hand because they have a phone in their hand.
There you go. This could be living in you, people.
That's
Boom.
a hookworm.
A hookworm. Look at that. He's aggressive.
And I've seen hookworms because years ago when we'd put people on parasite cleanses and they would finally dump them, I had so many people over the years, they dug them out of the toilet, put them in a jar and brought them in to show me. So I've seen a lot of.
Who are these people?
A lot of customers because they worked hard to get rid of them.
I dug through my poo. Check this out, Claudia.
Well, everybody should check their stool. I mean, it's very important when you have a
How
bowel
close
movement.
should you check it though?
Well, you want to look and see what's.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I always tell everybody you should know what your bowel movement looks like. It's a weird thing, but it's a very important process.
You don't have a picture of yours, do you? Because
no, but I
that might help our podcast numbers. You never know.
Oh Lord. So
we have these things living in us because we eat junk.
And they're being fed
kind of like
modern times.
So we got fungal because we eat junk. We have parasites and other worms. Are parasites and worms the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The enemy within is what it says.
So this is a great book. As I said, we always stock it. We sell a lot of
store.
It.
Okay.
Yes. But all of that said, so Hanna produced, it says right on the label, the original parasite cleanse. And I do believe this was the original product on the market. If it isn't, I didn't know that, but this has been around many, many years. This is a wormwood combination. So remember, herbs have activity in them. And the anti-parasitic herbs have these volatile oils and activity that destroy worms. They either interfere with how they replicate, or they break down the biofilm, or they just kill them off and they come out. So I always tell people, when you're on a parasite cleanse, I let them know, because we have a lot of people coming in for parasite cleansing. So many, because they're seeing it on different podcasts and all these different things.
Okay.
I tell them, you're going to know when you're going to see them in your stool. You're going to dump them, and better.
That's how you know you're getting rid of them.
Yes. And better to have them out than in.
Yeah.
And we've seen amazing healings over the years after people dump parasites. So a lot of people get more energy, they think clearer. We've seen different imbalances improve. And again, this is, I've always said our environment is a research environment,
Right.
but because we've seen thousands and thousands of people. But is all this stuff in the book somewhere? I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm sharing experience with everybody. So so this is a great product. There are 5 herbs in here.
Okay, let me hold it up again.
There's black walnut, there's quassia, there's male fern, there's artemisia, and I'm missing something. Let's see that label.
Artemisia and
There's male fern, clove.
clove.
So
So do you have to do a combination of things for a cleanse?
This is where we start.
Start with this one.
Yes. Now what we're seeing is what we learned years ago. If you hit parasites too hard, they can really make the host miserable.
So you could feel bad.
Yes. So this is why I've personally learned how to slow down the way we go after them so the host can function. They got to go to work, kids, school, whatever. So I like to start, excuse me, with this formula.
All right. So it's 2 capsules 3 times a day. That seems like a lot.
And it's a great place to start.
2 capsules 3 times a day.
Now I'm trained old school and I'm very grateful for that. We were taught that these herbs should be short-term use and then you take a break.
16-day supply.
Right. So a lot of the older herbalists were taught, and I'm one of them, that, parasites get very active a week before the full moon. And what's interesting is we have
How do they know?
We have a lot of nurses that shop at our store. They have for years. I'm very grateful. And I've had, I don't know how many nurses that work in psych wards tell me they can always tell when the full moon's coming because the patients get more agitated.
Weird stuff happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, people can laugh about cycles of the moon and all those things. People can do whatever they want. I believe it all comes together and it all connects. So, the moon cycles are important. We've seen, so people will come in and say, is the full moon coming? I'm craving more sugar. I mean, literally, these are the kinds of comments that we hear. So
you would take this like a week before the full moon starts?
That's how we were taught.
You would start.
Yes, a week before the full moon, and then the first week of the full moon, and then you take a break and you start over. Now, some people out in the podcasting world are telling people to do herbs anti-parasitic herbs every day. Doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just that's not how I was personally trained. And I think that at some point, if you take them constantly without taking a break, it can get a little stressful on the host. So I'm a fan of doing.
You mean the person?
Yes.
All right. So you do 2 week before, during full moon, and then you take a week off or 2?
1 week off, and then you start again.
Okay.
And that's how we've guided thousands of people to do anti-parasitic cleansing. So,
all right.
But this is a great formula.
This one's going to my pile because I'm pretty sure I got worms all over the place. So,
and remember, they're part of what's making people crave sugar. And that's something in the last episode when we talked about fungus. I should have mentioned this. I forgot that the Candidase and the Candex, those 2 products, more than any other product, people will tell me once they started it, they're craving sugar less.
Yeah.
I mean, we've heard from people in 2 weeks. Now everyone is different. Everyone is very different. Mm-hmm. So there's no set timing. But when we're going after the critters, as I call them, it makes a big difference in how we crave sugar. So back to the parasitic herbs. So this is a great product. Now, what I personally like to do, once somebody goes through a couple cycles of that product, then I like to start adding in straight up herbs.
Okay.
To that formula.
Black walnut, whole?
Yeah, so we add more black walnut, we add more wormwood, and we do it according to what the person can tolerate.
Handle?
Yes, what they can handle.
Okay, what's wormwood?
So wormwood, these are all just different herbs. Wormwood, let's see, there's wormwood, there's artemisia, there's some that are very well known for going after worms, and that's one of them.
Okay.
Now, with black walnut, when you see this, now makes a nice product. It's a combination. So I brought that because Hanna's product, of course, has been around for many, many years. But for people that don't want to swallow capsules or are not able, this is a great formula. So let's see what's in here. They put there's black walnut, wormwood, and clove, which is similar to that.
Yeah.
Right? Now, you see how it says green black walnut? What that means is the black walnut is most active when the hull is green, when in the development of that hull. That's where the anti-parasitic herbs are the highest, what I've been told from researchers making these products. So that's why when you see green black walnut, that's what that means.
Okay.
Okay. But you could use the one by now, great product. You could start with Hanna Kroger. And then slowly we add in more products. Now, what episode was it that we talked about binders? Boy, I don't know about you. I
just
heard
a couple weeks ago.
I heard we got a lot of good feedback about binders about that episode.
Yeah.
So I brought Sony's because I'm a fan. So remember, this is a bentonite clay, but this is a very specific type. This is volcanic ash and it's purified. This is meant to take internally. Not all bentonite is meant to take internally. Some of it is meant to be used topically to draw, to pull.
Right.
But this is internal. And it's a great product. So I do like using this along the way. But that said, I think people should do binders even if they're not doing a cleanse. We were taught to do binders, and specifically Sony's. I think it was one of the, as I said in that one episode, I think it was the first one on the market. It's been around since the 40s.
Does this taste horrible?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
No, it doesn't. And you take it on an empty stomach, use it twice a day, morning and night. And it's, remember, binders are grabbing onto things and helping them to get out of the body because, as I talked about in that episode, we're seeing so many people getting on all these aggressive detox protocols, but they're erupting everything, but it's not coming out. You got to get these toxins out. Otherwise the liver has to recycle them, which
Does
is not
this
a good
have to
thing.
be refrigerated after?
I think it does. I think it does.
I didn't see it.
Shake well. Does it say refrigerate? Oh, is optional.
Optional.
Yeah.
Do you suggest that? Keep it in the fridge?
I keep mine in the fridge. I always have.
All right.
But
Denny's pile.
So parasites, they really have taken a toll on our energy, on our health in general.
Well,
and
there's the culprit right there, the hookworm.
I'll tell you, that's one of the ugliest worms I've ever seen.
That's a nasty worm.
Yeah, I've seen tapeworms and flukes. A lot of people when they dump flukes, they'll tell me it looked like little white rice in their stool. Well, that's the flukes, and flukes can get everywhere. And Hanna has a full line.
Okay, I've seen those over the years in my own experience.
Well, that's why, yeah. So, and I've done parasite cleansing over the years. Now, I was very blessed to not be raised on the American diet.
Right.
My mother didn't believe in pop. She didn't believe in milk. She didn't believe in fast food. She didn't believe in any of that. We were raised on butter. We were raised on real food because my family is, Syrian and Lebanese. So we were raised on a really clean diet, but I still have done parasite cleanses and I think they're important.
How often should people do them? Should it be something you want to do in January after you get through the eating season?
I mean, yes, but I don't know that there's a set. We were always taught at least once a year. At least once a year. I have some people that do parasite cleansing 3 times a year.
Oh, wow.
So everyone is very different. And
so
again,
this one though, you can take
daily,
anytime.
Yeah.
But this, you want to wait till it's a week before full moon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, some people laugh at that and they can laugh all they want. But, as I said, lots of people know that a week before the full moon, they feel weird. They get more irritable. They crave more sugar.
Right.
We see it. So
because this guy is getting all stirred up in your poo.
Yeah.
Actually, that's where you want them in your poo. You want them out.
You want them out. You want these things out, not in. And again, the whole book is filled with pictures that she's drawn. Right. So Hanna was an amazing woman. She was into frequency healing. She understood energy. It amazes me. Everything is energy.
Yeah.
And some people don't want to understand that. And I don't really understand that. So energy is energy, whether it's in food, whether it's supplements, whether it's how we feel, it's all energy.
Right.
So she was into that years ago. In fact, she was so ahead of her time, and God bless my mother. My mother was too. We were drinking purified water by the time I was a kid. But my mom knew that when you purify water, it didn't have the same vibration. It didn't have the same energy, which now we know purified water is what we call dead water. You
Right.
have to put the minerals back in it
Right.
to bring it back to life. That's how it gets into the cell. So Hanna used to produce, and I should check and see if she made, it was a little round disc, and you put it on the table and you put your water on it, and it was frequency. It would re-energize the water.
No way.
And my mother had one of those, and she used it every day. So, a lot of people, there are people in the world that really were using simple good sense.
Yeah.
They didn't wait for the medical community to tell them to believe something.
Right.
They were using what their heart was telling them was true. And I honor those people. And, we see a lot of people that, just like Hanna, when she was indicted, she said, well, she's not answering questions because she has to talk to God. And,
Yeah.
she got ridiculed. Well, I think more people should talk to God or some kind of something bigger than this.
God.
Yeah, I mean,
stick with God.
Yeah, whatever
The
you
original,
want to say.
the OG.
It's a collective energy, in my opinion, that brings us all together. It's a beautiful. Anyway, the point
Agreed.
is, Hanna, I will always pay honor to her. I see a lot of people, a lot of the things that you see on the internet now about chlorophyll and parasites and there were visionaries years ago that
Yeah.
understood these things, but you have a lot of people making it sound like they discovered stuff. They didn't discover stuff. They just learned about it. But there were true visionaries and courageous people. And even now, people have to, it takes courage to speak truth when you're talking, especially about health, because unfortunately it's become this unfortunate situation we're in, but health versus disease, that's a conversation in itself.
Yeah.
So at any rate.
All right. Good stuff. So stop in the store, people.
And wait till after the holidays to start a parasite cleanse.
Wait till January. Find out when the full moon, week before, boom. Do it for 2 weeks, take a week off, get back at it.
And we have people that will ask, is there any contraindication with meds?
Okay.
We've not seen them.
Okay.
I've not seen them. So, but now,
Okay.
we just, sadly, we just had a 13-year-old and that brought to us last week. They already have her on 6 different meds.
Oh,
13 years old. I don't know what anybody else thinks about that, but I think drugging children is shameful. I've said it for years. I'm going to continue to say it. Children do not need drugs. What they need is God's pharmacy. They need clean food. Their body knows what it needs, and drugs are not the answer. And we see more and more kids they're being brought to us and they're being put on meds. And it's very sad to me. It's very sad. But at any rate, that's why the knowledge of self-healing is so powerful. It's so important.
Yes.
And the people in this country deserve to learn how to self-heal because it was suppressed for years. Well, it's not being suppressed now because it's out there and it needs to be out there. But remember, do it responsibly, go slowly, do it in baby steps. Don't do anything dramatic. Just walk it every day and find the right guidance. We have people coming into the store from different areas of the country. They're traveling from wherever, from here to there, and they're watching the podcast and they're coming in. I love it. It's very exciting. So, but there's wonderful health food stores all throughout this country. The real health food stores, not the ones that are, subsidiaries of big corporate interests.
Yeah.
The true independent health food stores. This is where it all began. And this is where the knowledge is. So find a health food store in your neck of the woods and go in and learn and have them share with you. That's what people like myself do.
Yep.
They're grateful to do that. So
just come to Claudia's store. That's the best way to do it.
And people are asking, when are we going to be able to shop online? We're working on it. I just want you to know we're working on it. It's just a big undertaking for a smaller company, but we're working on it. And as soon as we do that, everyone will know.
But if somebody calls you It
We
says,
ship
hey,
all over the
you
country.
ship all over the country
We've
now.
shipped all over the world,
Yeah,
actually.
there's somebody, was it in Arizona or somewhere, that watches the podcast and says, hey, I want to get this product, and you guys
Yeah.
just send
Oh,
it to
we've
them.
got people calling from all over the country.
Yeah.
We're shipping product everywhere,
So,
which I appreciate. I'm very grateful.
so share this podcast, people. Very important. You don't know whose life you're going to impact.
That's right. That's right. Knowledge is power, and being healthy is a beautiful, beautiful way to live. Being healthy is a cool way to live.
It is.
It's the cool way.
It is.
So get cool.
Be cool like us.
Be cool.
I'm not always healthy, but I'm working on it.
Hey, you know what? But here's what I learned a long time ago from Dr. Jensen and Bernard Jensen. I talk about him a lot, and Hanna Kroger. The immune system needs to be challenged, but it's how we address it.
Mm.
So people will say, if somebody's taking supplements, well, why would they get sick? Well, because it can happen. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what the immune system, it's doing its job.
Yeah.
But when we nourish the immune system, when we give it the right tools, that to me is what's important. So
there you go. All right. That's it for episode number 90. It was a good one. Like I said, share it, please. And Claudia, like always, giving you the last word.
I love it.
Love you too.
Keep the faith, everybody. I say it all the time. And just when I think I've said it too much, somebody will come in and say, man, thanks for telling me to keep the faith. So faith is a big deal. And I believe in it deeply. And I'm grateful to have faith, because life can kick you around a little bit, and it's faith that gets you through it. So keep the faith, open your heart, open your mind, do the best you can for yourself. It's so worth it. You will be grateful that you did. Share it with your family, share it with your children. You can't tell other people what to do, but you can teach your children the right way to eat and how to nourish their immune system. So keep the faith and share the love. And we're very grateful for all of you. Thank you for being with us. Peace.